Are you experiencing anxiety? Do you know what I mean by that? Where your race thoughts are racing, your heart is pounding, your stomach is in knots. And sometimes you know why, but sometimes you don't. And you literally are just in this freak out mode all day long, and you can't put your finger on what got you there. Well, in today's video, I'm going to share with you what is anxiety, how it's actually helpful, and what we can do about it. There's lots of things we can do about it, but I'm going to give you two strategies that you can do today to support your process if anxiety is something you're dealing with today. So, for those of you who don't know me, welcome. My name is Denise Walsh. I'm a clinical psychologist turned dream life coach. Let me go ahead and share this into my groups. If you're not yet part of the Become a Dream Life Coach group, I welcome you there. We'd love to have you. We do a lot of challenges and training and all that kind of stuff in there. But needless to say, I want to hear from you. So while we're talking about anxiety today, please be sure to comment below and share your experiences, share your story, and let's learn from each other. All right, so let's first start with what is anxiety. Now, as a clinical psychologist, I used to diagnose clients with an anxiety, or like if they presented with the symptoms, right? Like an anxiety disorder, and that you can be put on anxiety medications and things like that. And so while that is an extreme form of anxiety, I like to say anxiety is, on a not a tether, but like a scale, right? So you can have really extreme anxiety where you need to get on medication and you need support to help your physical symptoms calm down. But there's a lot, everybody experiences some sort of anxiety some of the time. And typically we all have similar symptoms. So things like not being able to sleep, not being able to fall asleep or stay asleep, grinding your teeth is a symptom of anxiety, your heart racing, your stomach is in knots, you're unable to digest your food. So maybe you kind of feel bloated. There is like your pacing, that can be a form of anxiety, racing thoughts, not even being able to focus, like lack of focus. That could be a form of anxiety because you're in fight or flight mode and you're managing all these plates in the air and you can't like actually finish one. And so there's lots of different ways that anxiety can present itself in our system. And so typically what happens, and let me know if you're like me, if like, oh, I'm feeling anxious, how do I fix the symptom in our body? Now, what I've learned over the years and working with lots and lots of clients, right, is that our bodies are trying to tell us something. And the anxiety that we feel, the knots in our stomach that we feel, the tension in our body that we feel is our body trying to tell us something. Anxiety is truly just the messenger for the fact that something else is wrong. And so instead of thinking of anxiety as the problem and the thing we need to fix, what we want to do is identify what is the root cause of that anxiety and start there, right? So the problem is not the anxiety. Anxiety is like the smoke alarm in our bodies saying something's wrong, something's wrong, something's wrong, something's wrong. And we could take the batteries out of it. We could put lots of towels around it to muffle its sound. We could do all these things to quiet the alarm, but that's not actually solving the problem. The problem is that we are unsafe, disconnected, unhealthy, and living like we have no say in what happens next. I'm going to repeat that again. The problem is that we are unsafe, disconnected, unhealthy, and living like we have no say in what happens next. And so our body is telling us that something is off. Okay. And so the first step in reducing anxiety is what we call lifting the hood, like taking a good look at what's happening. In 90 Day U-Turn, we call it assessing our here. Where is life today? What is actually going on? Not a like la 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 la, everything's fine, but like what is actually happening in our life that we need to take a look at. Because again, most of the time we're spinning a ton of plates. We're not addressing any issues that come up. We're trying to survive, and our body is in fight or flight mode. And that chronic stress on our body is impacting our anxiety and keeping it going. And so the first thing that we want to do is we want to take a look at what's going on. We want to take a look at reality. Okay. So this reality focus means we're opening up the hood to our life and we're assessing life today. Now, a 90 Day U-Turn and what I teach Dream Life coaches is we've got 7 areas of life and we want to rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being not where I want to be, 10 being like dream life. Chef's kiss, right? And so we want to really take a look. Where am I now? Where am I today? And let's be so honest about it, right? There's no judgment. This is not a fail. This is really just an inventory on where life is now so you can see where the needles need to be moved. And so on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your health, your family, your finances, your friendships, your hobbies, your business or career, your service, giving back? How would you rate all of those different areas? And are there some that you're saying, okay, this is just not great? Like I really need to move the needle in this area first. What is your body trying to tell you? Are you in massive amount of debt? And your body's saying, okay, like time to get control of that. Are you unhealthy and maybe you've gained a certain amount of weight and your body's saying, okay, time to like get back on track here. Or maybe you're in a relationship that is not working. Like you, as much as you try, it is just not working. And it's time to listen to those anxiety bells, that anxiety alarm to say, all right, here, I got to do something. Something's got to give. What is my body trying to tell me? So I recommend that people do this inventory through a journal, through writing things down. Don't just think about it, write it down, because a lot of wisdom, a lot of introspection will pop up as you're journaling. So give yourself a few pages and say, all right, let's take a look at what life is like now. And what I would do is rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. And then I would write, this is what my life is like now. This is what's going on in my friendships. This is how much I'm actually seeing my friends, or I'm connecting, or you're describing it to yourself, because as you describe it, more things will pop up and you'll be able to assess, all right, what's really going on in this area of my life? Am I feeling lonely? Is this anxiety because I really have no strong relationships in my everyday to day life and I'm feeling lonely, right? Or is this anxiety rooted in this unhealthy relationship at my home? Or is this anxiety related to this fact that I have to have an uncomfortable conversation with a friend that I don't really want to have? And so what's going on? So you take a few pages, rate all 7 areas of life, and then describe them. And then you want to take a look and see what would life look like if it were a 10. So what would it really look like if it were a 10? What do I really want in these areas of life? And so the first thing, like I said, is opening up the hood, getting into reality, taking a look at what is true today, whether we like it or not, and being so honest with ourselves. And then the second step here is to say, all right, where can I move the needle in my life? Where can I make a shift? What could I do to not change everything all at once? Because that feels like a huge mountain to climb. But if my body is telling me that I need to get a new job, okay, that feels big and heavy and hard. But what is one small thing I could do? Maybe I could start looking around. Maybe I could update my resume. Maybe I could, start telling some friends to see if there's anything they know that's available. Like, what options do I have? Because like I said, I'm going to go back to this quote. Hold on. Hopefully I can find it quickly. I'll show you the book that I'm reading this from as well. But the quote is that the problem is not anxiety. The problem is that we are living disconnected, unhealthy, frustrated lives and feeling like there's nothing we can do about it. And so that feeling like there's nothing we can do about it is part of the problem. So once we assess where we're at now, let's find one thing that we can do. And again, a mountain feels so big. So let's break that mountain down into bite-sized pieces and look at all of the different options and say, all right, well, what is one thing I can do about this? And this is what we do in 90 Day U-Turn is we help you take that big mountain and turn it into bite-sized pieces while you're learning strategies for overcoming and healing through the anxiety warning bells that are popping up every step of the way. Found it. Okay. Yeah, I got it right. Anxiety is not the problem. The problem is that we are feeling unsafe, disconnected, unhealthy, and living like we have no say in what happens next. Yeah. And that does not have to be you. And so if you're interested in learning more about 90 Day U-Turn or learning more about how to become a dream life coach and learning this content for yourself, then comment coach below and let's talk. We have another round of 90 Day U-Turn starting before the end of the year. And this is the perfect place for new coaches to step in, see if they like the material, and then they can certainly upgrade to become a coach later down the line. But this book that I'm reading is called Building a Non-Anxious Life. And that's where that quote's from that I really love. So I hope that this was helpful. I'd love to hear your experience with anxiety. Where are you at on the issues? And share your story below so we can learn from each other. Thanks for being here. Have an awesome, awesome day, and we'll see you next time.